This is our group assignment presentation. We have mapped MyMart's pain points onto the slider based on analytical intent, moving from what happened to what will happen and finally how to optimize it. Firstly, fragmented data and limited capability are descriptive because their goal is transparency. We are currently struggling to produce a coherent historical view. The intent here is to accurately describe our identity gaps and resource constraints before moving forward. Next, retention and operation are predictive because the goal is prevention, not just reporting. We aren't just counting churners or stockouts after they happen. We are using XGBoost and Sarima to anticipate future risk and intercept them before they impact the bottom line. Finally, marketing reallocation is prescriptive because it moves beyond forecasting to decision-making. By applying constraints optimization, we aren't just predicting our AS.
Hobby owns the data foundation. MyMart data source alone to exist. Format dedicated to link structured transactions, semi-structured clickstream, unstructured reviews, the source dedicated ownership. Internal feeds we govern, external feeds we validate on ingest, and different quality dimensions each co-op specific decision. Accuracy T+2 lag max ARIMA under predict replenishment for completeness. Missing mobile email means regular estimation cohort and for consistency. It's a quite killer. It blocks the joins that would let past dashboards. And for timelessness, means insights arrive after decision window closes. Relevance explain why a clickstream rate from Canadian model is top after sales complaints. And for uniqueness, cross-device duplicate creates a Python audience that with the acquisition budget and the fitness for the purpose, raw data lacks the structured labor needed for the predictive modeling. For layer decision framework, these dimensions ripple through the 4-layer decision chain and the base integration, a unified customer and hierarchy. Without it, every model misranks cross-device bias. Above that, governance, SLA targeting, have 99% section accuracy and 5% identity completeness, and the shared dictionary. The analytical capability is pipeline only works after the substrate is clean, and at the top, decision culture, managers willing to act on recommendation, contradict intuition. The top layer is the most fragile and most absent today. Every quality gap from set 3 is from last slide is resolved in data population.
Hello everyone. For part C of our presentation, I'm going to introduce our CrispDM application for MyMart. The framework assumes that the earlier phases will be revisited whenever later ones expose problems. For a firm like MyMart, which currently struggles with fragmented data and immature analytics, this iterative process is very necessary. As you can see from the graph, we have mapped out all 6 phases, moving from business understanding down to deployment. In phase 1, business understanding, we establish measurable KPIs across retention, delivery, and operations. Phase 2, data understanding, reveals structural gaps like fragmented customer identifiers and severe address missingness in East Malaysia. These findings make the phase 3, data preparation, the most critical step. Here we resolve cross-device duplicates to recover 15% of our customer base, impute missing addresses, and harmonize categories. By building powerful RMF and NLP features, we structurally resolve our data failures before any modeling occurs. In phase 4, modeling, we deploy 3 predictive streams, XGBoost for churn, Thompson sampling for marketing optimization, and S-Alima for demand forecasting. Phase 5, evaluation, judges these models on tangible business impact, such as achieving a 26 times payback on retention and releasing 600,000 ringgit in holding costs. Crucially, we reinforce a strict fairness gate to protect East Malaysian customers. Finally, in phase 6, deployment, churn scores directly enter the CRM, S-Alima triggers reorders, and continuous monitoring ensures we automatically retrain if our data drifts. To conclude part C, data preparation is our most critical phase because weakest links sets the ceiling. It consumes 60 to 80% of our effort, but this asymmetry is structural. Every uncaught defect is heavily amplified downstream. For example, missing our 15% entity resolution causes model to misjudge customer loyalty. Skipping category harmonization breaks our demand forecasts, directly inviting stockouts. and skipping address imputation completely undermines our fairness gate. Proper data preparation demands deep domain knowledge, making it our true critical point. Thank you, and now I'm going to pass to the next one.
So let's move into part D. We visualize data to drive real decisions, starting with retention. So let's look at left graph, figure 6. Instead of a blended retention rate, we use a cohort retention heat map. Let's look at 2024 quarter 4 row, our double 11 mag sale. Notice how fast it turns to yellow compared to 2023. So this exposes a harsh reality. Our expensive promotion put in low intent bargain hunters who just didn't stay. So let's look at the right graph, figure 7. So let's see how much the churn cost us. So this 20% churn segment generated around 2.97 million lifetime GMV, outpacing the four times smaller loyal base. You can see here, loyal base is 1.86 million. So inside here, this allows us to transform abstract retention rates into simple, decidable financial figures. But the quick risk warning, heat map colors can be misleading for micro cohorts when N is less than 30 due to statistical noise. Thank you.
Moving on to our marketing innovation insights, let's first look at figure 8, the ROAS distribution. We deliberately used a straight plot with interquartile range bars instead of simple bar charts to expose the true variance in our campaigns. If you look against the dotted 5 times target line, email clearly leads the pack with an 80.2 times median, while influencer campaigns trail far behind at just 2.07 times. Now compare this directly with figure 12, our spend composition pie chart. By pairing the budget share with the return, a glaring misallocation is exposed. Influencers consume 14.4% of our budget for a net negative return, while our most effective channel, emails, receives only 15.9%. The conclusion here is straightforward. We need an immediate prescriptive reallocation of this budget. Shifting to operations, figure 9 is a 100% stake bar chart tracking delivery completion across states. Notice the stack regional contrast. The green peninsular states average nearly 88% on time, easily clearing our 80% SLA target line. However, the origin East Malaysian bars fall significantly behind, averaging only 67.2%. Finally, figure 10 maps our 90-day stockout events using a warehouse by category A map. The dark red hotspots instantly draws the eye, specifically Johor Bahru lifestyle at 189 events, and Shah Alam Electronics at 185. These are the exact points where our current manual order logic is falling. Ultimately, these visualizations don't just tell us what happened, they prove exactly where our predictive models must take over. Thank you for listening.